brilliant Bach video, the wonderful composer who wrote that piece of music I was just playing. It's part of our Cool Composer series where we are going to learn about a composer from a different musical era, which means where the style of music changed between the years. And we're going to learn a little bit of what that composer wrote, and we're going to do some activities that gets you to perform and create and play some music by Bach, and also to create your own in the style of Bach. Are you ready to go? So let me introduce you to Johann Sebastian Bach. He is a Baroque composer from a period of music that was written between 1600 and 1750. So he was born over 300 years ago, and even today he's thought by many to be the most famous and influential composer of all time. So growing up, he had 7 brothers and sisters, and he learnt to play 4 instruments, the violin and the organ, also instruments called the harpsichord and the clavichord. And they were sort of a bit early versions of a piano, in that, like a piano, you hit the keys to make the sound. Bach began to write down music from his imagination when he was just a teenager. And do you know what? He didn't stop. He wrote music for orchestras, for choirs, for churches, and for solo instruments like flutes and violin and cello. All in all, it's thought that he wrote around 1,160 pieces of music. That is a lot. Wow. So today, the first of your activity sheets is to write some of those facts on the music card. Scan the codes to listen to Bach as you colour in. Let's move on to the next part of your activities, where we start to play. First, we're going to look at an ingredient that Bach uses in this piece, the Minuet in G, and it's a scale pattern, and it sounds like this. On the piano, the white keys are next door to each other. On the music, you can see this written here. An F major 5-note scale pattern. Let's play for the flute step 1 on the head joint. Now, let's play it on the toot. You're going to start with 4 fingers, F, G, A. We have a tricky B here. We have a special B called B flat, which looks like that. And then we have C, sound like this. If those finger changes are a little bit tricky for you, we can just do a normal B. It will sound slightly different, but it's a little bit easier. Well done. Let's hear the phrase on the flute as well. On the flute, first time we're going to play it in the low octave. And the last challenge, the last step, is to also play it in the high octave. Well done. Your turn. What you'll remember to circle that scale pattern of the notes moving from line to space on your music before you start. So, to play our Minuet in G on the piano, so that we're in tune with your first notes that you learn, we're actually going to play it in the key of C, which means we're going to start with both our thumbs on middle C. We're going to learn to play this two ways. The first time, step 1, we're going to play with our right hand only, and you can either use your finger numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or preferably you can read the notation. It will sound like this. So your thumb on middle C and your 5th finger on G. Well done. Step 2, we're going to keep our hands in the same position, both our thumbs on middle C, but because we're going to play the melody predominantly with our left hand, this time the minuet of G is in G. Here we go. Again, my hands are flatter so that you can see my fingers. Well done. Now's the exciting part where you get to use your imagination to create a piece. What the teacher would like to hear in your piece is an ingredient from Bach, which is that scale pattern. Here's my piece that I've made up. Here's my activity sheet where I've drawn my music with shapes and colours. Following those shapes and colours on the piano, maybe my piece will sound like this, because you can use all the keys that you wish. Well done, that's fantastic. Performing, playing, creating and composing music today in the style of Bach, and some great colouring too. Make sure you send your videos and your photos of your sheets to your tutor. I'm sure they're going to be super impressed and love everything we've done together today. I look forward to seeing you soon for some more cool composers when we'll be listening to and playing Mozart from the classic period. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye!